Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching The Rings of Power Season 1, Episode 2, Adrift. I really enjoyed the first episode. I think it was a brilliant foundation for where the show is going to go and how it's going to build on it. It's what I'm looking forward to seeing. I didn't phrase that sentence very well, but I'm excited. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go! Long way too slim. And yeah, who fell from the sky? God, children!
No, don't.
Go find an adult.
He's dead, come on!
Who is it? What is it? Is it a wizard? Jesus Christ.
I can't carry him alone. Are you gonna help me or not?
You can't leave him to die.
How is Look at him, he's bleeding massive. He's got to be. He's not a troll. Alright, some outfit, then why This isn't some adventure, Nori. What's that supposed to mean? I didn't go looking for this. But you're not turning away. Because I can't. Because you won't.
Someone needs help.
This
Nori's
stranger
helping.
Isn't a man, or an elf, or some baby eagle.
We don't
with
know
broken
that.
That was one time. Maybe something dangerous.
That is true. I do think we should have told an adult, but with all the magic-y stuff that happened, I'd imagine he's a wizard. Do they fall from the sky? This does feel like something you should go and alert the rest of your elven friends about.
You must follow the passage the other direction.
You should maybe get a warning to your
That is the
elves.
reason I'm Masako.
And devise something of real power. What is it you hope to
Some
craft?
rings.
What? A forge. More powerful than any ever built. Able to...
The things we could use it to create could transform Middle-earth.
Let's not.
What seems to be the difficult...
I admire all who can see into the mystery of things, who can divine from the plainness of what is, the
Good to look at
beauty of
other
what could be.
races and their cultures with respect.
Might your friend be able to grant me access?
He'll welcome us with open arms.
The opposite's about to happen.
We seek an audience with Prince Durin.
Okay then.
I invoke the right of Sigyn Tarag.
What is the right?
What is the right of thingamajig? I want to see this place. I'd watch a show that was just like someone going on a travelling tour of Middle-earth. He's just smiling at them as they're very hostile to him. And the other women bearded. You can trust her. I just hope we can trust you.
You won't harm me. Do you?
Does he understand you?
No, that's not how you...
If he wants to eat all of it, let him eat all of it. You'll learn. Is he a wizard? Is he Gandalf? Wizard just fell from the sky and... Is that how they arrive while there's only a few of them?
It's not straight.
Is he drawing what they're doing? That it's gonna fall? He's psychic? Oh, I did not like the sound of that bone cracking!
Should have been here.
You're here now, alright. Now go on. Fetch me
That
some
kind of
cold water and
wound
some
get
salt.
infected and be fatal? At least she's got like a decent endurance. Is it a creature or a ship? Oh lord.
Didn't seem bothered when we was debating Doble's death.
Will not be our deliverance.
Don't let her on.
Thank you, my woman.
Then you've not seen it.
Seen what?
Oh lord.
The worm.
They're survivors. Well, she might be your best bet against it.
Need we tell her all our affairs?
Why not?
An elf?
Remove your hand from me, sir.
Worm.
Jesus Christ!
Be still.
giant fish to me. Less worm-like, more giant fish. So much for a nice woman. Jesus Christ. Is your knife ready? Just in case. I don't know what good it would do against the giant worm, but...
You might at least listen to the proposal I bring.
Ah, there it is. The true purpose of your visit.
I already
You want
come on
something.
you.
I journeyed here to see my friend whom I've greatly missed.
Missed!
And you
You
needed
missed
something.
the wedding. The birth of my children. You cannot claim
Time
that
slips
which
by
you
for elves.
discarded.
Discarded.
20 years may be the blink of an eye. A life you missed.
Friendship with people who are not as long-lived as you is different.
Friend.
How many generations does he see?
And I would like very much to apologize to your family as well.
One apology to Disa and you're off.
Cannot be Elrond, can it?
I fear
But all the women were meant to have beards.
lady.
Surely at least some of them.
Coming to Khazad-dûm was my idea, and I have asked for nothing but your ear.
Aye, and that's how it starts. And soon enough,
I see you planted the sapling.
Planted it, raised it up, tends it like it's our third child. What sort of tree is it?
Where there is love, it is never truly dark. How could it not grow in a home like yours?
You smooth talking bastard.
It was orcs.
Yeah.
Look, Elf, it didn't cause my suffering, and you can't fix it. No matter how strong your will. Or your
Well,
pride.
she intends to try.
So let it
So,
lie.
I need to know how many the enemy were, under whose banner they marched, and then you are going to take me to their last known location.
I mean, he's going to take you to land on his
Got my
ship.
own
He made you
plans.
nothing else. But you could give her the information, and oh lord, that is the last thing we need.
Bloody mice.
Oh lord, I don't think it's mice. Well, that was a slight overreaction to potential mice. Because your mum wouldn't be happy that you've just made a hole in the floor and Oh, they're behind him as well. Oh, good. It was nice knowing you. Whatever that was could have followed you. Hopefully they were too big to squeeze through that gap, but we're not certain on that. Oh god! I don't think he went exploring. Or was he hiding? Was he he's a smart boy. Oh lord. You're actually breaking and entering, which is against the law, so if you wouldn't mind not. Oh, I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna jump. I didn't jump, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine. Ah! Brave little boy! You skewer that bitch! That is a resourcefully brave little boy. With his head.
We make for the Elven Tower at first light.
Maybe sooner. Like, immediately. They could come in the night. First light seems a daft thing to wait for. Oh lord. The fact everyone is having a really great time. Well, shit. You're gonna be a hero? I mean, she survived, so I imagine so. Or she'll wake up and cut herself free. That could happen too. See, you're not a heartless, only in it for self-preservation. When you can help someone, you do. Teamwork, making the dream work. He's very scary. He's either like looking at everything in childlike wonder or creepy and terrifying. There is no in between.
They're stars. A kind
See?
of constellation.
A star that fell to Earth. Are we in Stardust now? Oh dear, he died. He is very creepy.
We're the ones holding the long end of the hammer here.
What are they up to? How have they had their technological advances? Are they working on the same kind of science that they're wanting to do? Or something even scarier? It's not a good keepsake, little boy. Like, is that what the orcs are looking for? They survived the storm. They've reached land. Ooh. They've reached someone with a very fancy boat. Okay, so my favourite part of this episode was meeting Durin and seeing the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the mountain, this dwarven mountain I think I've already had mentioned before, and the technology they have and just the beautiful way it works, because, you know, the way other people talk about dwarves in this world, you'd almost imagine them living in like weird little caves or whatever, but they've got this beautiful home, as beautiful as the elven homes, just in a totally different way. I love seeing the different ingenuity of the different races and how similar they all are despite their significant cultural differences. And how upset he was that like Elrond had been gone for 20 years, and Elrond was like, yeah, it was just 20 years, mate, like, what? And, you know, if you ever get any human friends, you're gonna have to be a lot more aware of time passing, because humans, I believe, I think like dwarves age slower than humans. And maybe hobbits do as well, I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of an interesting dynamic, but the friendship running true. And I love the idea that in every one of these stories that I've watched, there has been, it's kind of the different species or races or whatever the word is that they use to describe themselves are very, very separate from each other. There don't seem to be places like, oh, that city's got a real mix of all the different cultures. That city's got, like, there are areas in all the different lands. This is the human area. This is the hobbit area. This is the dwarf area. This is the elf area. They haven't really intermixed. There are examples of intermixing, and like it's more rare when you come across people who are friends with someone of a different culture. It's very interesting. And so this is one of those cases where you have Durin and Elrond, who were friends, and they are still friends. Now the dwarves are up to something, or at least they are up to something they don't want the elves to know. There is obviously a lot of anti-elven feeling. I guess if the elves kind of came and brought war, you just wouldn't like them very much. But it's just such an interesting dynamic to look at this world and how it is, because the way it was in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings is so very different to how it is now. This is kind of the setting, obviously, that ultimately leads to that. I'm presuming what the guy is ultimately going to end up making is like Mordor and the rings. I could be on totally the wrong track, but given that the show is called The Rings of Power, I'm having a feeling. So I'm very intrigued to see how it all plays out. Obviously, I assume the dwarves are going to agree to work with the elves, simply because the show needs to have this thing get done, and this seems to be the best way to do it. But there's a lot of ulterior motives going on, things that people don't fully know the full story of, so I can't wait to find out more. Then we know that the orcs are tunneling under places, burrowing up. Were they looking for relics, for artifacts that the humans that had been loyal to Sauron and his Morgoth, his boss, like the one the little kid has, Theo has? Is that what they were looking for, or were they just there trying to kill people? Obviously they take people. We saw them take Mr. Elf. I have not picked up on his name. So I guess they're taking all the people, so he'll know where they've taken the townspeople of the other town because they've taken him there as well. Luckily, Bronwyn and Theo, I learnt their names. See, my brain fog isn't totally cataclysmic. They survived it enough to warn the people and give enough proof, so hopefully that town will be spared. And maybe by going to the Elven outpost, there'll be somebody left there that they can give the message to. Though given that the elves were also going to move and leave, they've probably already abandoned it and it'll be empty, just maybe slightly more secure for the townspeople to hide out in. We will see. And then obviously literally adrift in this episode, we had Galadriel, and she came across some humans who were survivors of... Now, they called it a worm. To me, it really looked like a giant fish. It had fins and everything, but they came across a strange creature. Now, there's two of them left, Halbrand and Galadriel, and then obviously he saved her when he could have just cut the rope or let her drown and been like, oh well, you know, my elf friend's dead, I'm off on myself. But he did save her, which shows you that he has a good heart, a heroic side to him, even if when the worm attacked, he cut himself loose and saved himself. Those are two very different situations. He probably couldn't have saved, maybe he could have saved one or two of the other people, but it was a very different situation. But you get a sense that he is also someone else that has lost. So he's someone that I want to get more of a feel for what his character is like, what his motivations are. He's going to end up helping Galadriel, let's face it. But she does also have that kind of personality that he immediately picked up on how driven and, you know, how strong her sense of purpose was. And I feel like she's definitely someone that will draw others into her orbit. So I'm very intrigued to see where it's all going to go and whose ship they have come across. Very, very interesting. Then we have little Nori, and it's very interesting. I'm assuming this person, this creepy childlike man who has fallen from the heavens, communicates through fireflies that he then murders, is a wizard currently. I don't know. He could even be someone like Gandalf or any of the other wizards we met, because I suppose if the wizards age really slowly over a couple of millennia, then that could be him. He could also be a totally new creature that they're introducing in this. I don't know. I don't know enough about the lore to speculate beyond the few things I know about, and the only one of the few things I know about that he vaguely fits is Gandalf. Or I don't remember it. I don't even remember the evil wizard's name. My brain for names sucks. But regardless, I am interested to learn more about him. And the fact that Nori, she thinks she knows where she could find those stars. I'm presuming that's the book that the guy looking into the skies and the signs has. So she might be able to figure out where he wants to go. And I'm guessing that is going to be linked to the wider situation that's going on. And that's how the very different characters are going to get drawn in. Is Nori going to leave home and go with him on an adventure, like many will do in the future? Also, if it was Gandalf, it would kind of make sense as to why he has a special place in his heart for hobbits, because the first people he encountered and gave him kindness were hobbits. But I'm just very intrigued to see where this goes and how it all ties together, and the different strands we've got, what the tapestry is that they're making. Because I kind of feel like at the moment, if this show is making a tapestry, the different plot lines are all around the edges, and we're starting to go in towards the middle where we're going to see the whole what the tapestry is. But right now it's just some patches of colour at the edges and you can't tell what it's going to be. But I am enjoying it. I really just feel like I just got sucked into that episode. Makes me worry that I didn't react much and just sat here like, but I was just kind of following it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance. Thank you so much for watching.